Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of SoulCARE.
Hi, everybody. This is James Emprod. Hello there, and happy holidays for all those who celebrated Thanksgiving, and happy summer or winter wherever you are. And hope your days are doing nicely. I'm been busy all weekend with my dog Pearl. You'll see her in the background. She'll go to her go to your bed. Go to your bed. She was spayed the day, so she has a cone on her head. So I've been doing cone watch for the past weekends, sleeping on the floor with her. Lay down. Go lay down, baby. Lay down. She's a little out of it. So she's sedated a little bit because of the cone, which isn't hurting her, but she can't eat her wound because it will open. So we've got to keep that on. The longer it is, it's 10 days, but right now it's been about 5 days. So the longer it gets, of course, as we know, itchy. So she'll want to lick it. So now the cone is on most of the day and evening. So hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just see who's here. I'll get to my chat, the comments, and see how everyone is here and who's joining us. Trish, hello. Hey, Trish, Teresa from Sonoma, my favorite place in the world. Heather, Angel, how are you? Cynthia Hudson. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and Monday after Black Friday was Friday. I guess it was the biggest Black Friday sales-wise they've had ever. So in the history of retail, supposedly. So I heard from one source. I don't know. But it's not done yet. Let's see. And Leanne, hi from Australia, Melbourne, Australia. Hello, love. How are you? Hello, El Hassin from Morocco. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I love the language. It's beautiful, pretty, pretty, pretty. Greetings from Switzerland. Hello, Marjan from Switzerland. Hello from Sweden, Kirsten. Minnesota, Anne. Hello. UK, Carolyn. Very good. I've been getting into some real UK shows and some Australian shows recently. Over the weekend, I watched a lot of UK and Australian shows. And I'm trying to get down the way they speak. So thank you. Thank you. Grateful to see you, Lajana. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Lovely that you joined us. Thank you. Everybody that comes along on this ride here every Monday, it's lovely. Here it's at 12 o'clock, but I'm not sure where it is, wherever you are. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Hello? Red Bluff, California. I don't know if you know what Red Bluff is. Where's Red Bluff? Don't even know what that is. And Angel Light, hello. Yes. Poughkeepsie needs you. Oh, Poughkeepsie. Yes, I had a good time in Poughkeepsie. I went to school in Hyde Park, which is right next to Poughkeepsie. That's where I went to be a priest. When I was 14 years old, I went to the preparatory seminary, and that was located in Hyde Park, New York, which is right next to Poughkeepsie. And it's no longer there, the seminary. It's now, I guess, a private residence. But yeah, it was interesting in Poughkeepsie. And I did, as you know, a demonstration in Poughkeepsie. I had a very great Thanksgiving. Thank you, Danny, for asking me. I had a great Thanksgiving. My good friend, Marianne, who's been the first person I met in Los Angeles when I moved out to LA when I was 24 years old. I met her and I was delivering mail in a production company. And I delivered her mail and we just hit it off right away. I recognized her. She recognized me through our eyes before anything psychic. And yeah, so she's been my longest friend and she came to my house and her and her son. We had a lovely Thanksgiving meal. And I call it grateful because I feel that's the good word, grateful. So hope you all had a grateful time. Those who celebrated Thanksgiving. Thank you from Michigan. Hello, Diane from, yes, Texas. Very good. And hello, James from Germiston. Where is that? Don't know where that. I've never heard of that. My fur baby is, if you can see in the vanprog.com right there on the left side of your screen, she's lying down. She had a spay on Wednesday. She was spayed. So she has a little, she's actually really been great. It's been her owner that's been needing the sedatives, not her. I wish I had sedatives because she's an Australian Shepherd dog. They're very high energy. So I think for her, it's a change in her. She's not used to being low key. She wants to play, play, play. And I think that's the hard part for her. She doesn't seem to be in any pain, doesn't seem to be. They gave me a list of what she would do if she was in pain and what to look for. And she hasn't been in pain, it seems. And she's been in good moods. And but you got to be careful while she's healing. You can't play around too much because of the stitches. So it's hard for her to be low key. But next week at this time, she'll be back to normal. So thank you for asking. So she's there sitting down with a cone on her head so she doesn't lick her wounds. Hello. I had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you very much, everybody. Olivia is saying, why are you saying South Africa? Isn't that great? We're in South Africa. That's great. Oh, you do, Amanda. You have an Australian Shepherd. Oh, they are wild babies. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I wanted to share with everybody that this time of the year, Debbie, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you from the journey. Amanda, hello. My Aussie friends. I'm really, but I watched my Australian show, my UK show, and it's really, I'm embarrassed to tell you, but I will anyway. I'm watching Border Patrol. I was thinking if I wasn't a medium, what would I do? Well, maybe a border patrol. I find it fascinating that they use their intuition when people come off planes, and many times they use, of course, dogs and machinery, X-rays, but many times they rely on their intuition to feel if someone is a smuggler or not. So I've been watching that. I find it fascinating, just fascinating. And it's Border International. So we've been to, let's see, Canada and Australia and the UK. And I think, wow, I'd like to do that if I didn't do mediumship. A lot of things I would do if I didn't do mediumship, but there you go. That's how I entertain myself. This is the time of the year, and I hope you've had a great Thanksgiving, a great winter or summer, wherever you are, and good time with your family. And it's the time of the year that I've reserved like 2 years ago. And I said to my website people, I want to give back to everybody that comes to that comes and supports me with this page and comes to support me, the website, my books, and so forth, and the school. So I decided 2 years ago to have a big sale every year. The biggest sale of the year for my courses in my school, because a lot of people say it's hard. Some things I can't afford, and they'd like to take them. So every single course is 40% off. There's Renee put that up there. Thanks, Renee. So it's 40% off a course and certifications. So get a piece of paper and a pen so you can write down this code, because I'm going to describe a couple of the courses. We have any course you want in that school is available at 40% off. So some of them are basically free, but I'm going to highlight a couple of them, which if you don't know about, which you might like to learn more about. And it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested, because, and this is my way of really giving back to everybody at the end of the year. It's my Thanksgiving. It's my gratitude. It's my way of doing that. I can't do it all the time because I'm going to be able to afford the website, but this is my way. I give a whole time between Thanksgiving Christmas time. So the sale's up soon tonight, I think it is. So you got to do it today. So kind of our Black Friday sale, I guess you'd say. But I wanted to, and there's my name. You see the link right there. I want to read a couple of courses if you're not familiar with them, because some of the highlight courses, which I think, they're all pretty good, but ones I want to read to you because you might find them very interesting, because I've had a lot of feedback on the Spiritual Healer Certification course. And it's a very unique course, which of course I created myself. And it takes into consideration all different types of healing. It talks about Reiki, universal healing. I talk a lot about Harry Edwards. I talk about the integration of balancing of energy and different levels of possible healing. I'm going to those deep, deep levels of the emotional self, mental self, spiritual self, and helps you to unlock your own abilities of that healing. And healing to me is recognizing that pure loving self and really applying that with all the mental body, the physical body, the spiritual body, and really, and the emotional body. And it's getting your power back. There's so many things that are involved in it. It's not a simple thing. There's so many levels of it and integrations of experiences and I find it goes back to also learning about yourself and honoring yourself. So it's empowering as well. So that's the healing certification course. Check it out. You might like it. The other one I think has been the one I got really, all of them are 40% off, but these ones that I think they're really, they had a lot of great reviews and people should know more about them. Bringing Heaven Home. So Bringing Heaven Home was, I spent the weekend and I channeled this course and with my guides. It was interesting because I had several of the same guides, but there were 3 different other ones I've never worked with before. And they said that they were dedicated to bringing to this course to me. So let me read to you. This is pretty good. So if you're in grief and you really would like to connect with loved ones in your own way, this is a course. It's I wrote, wouldn't it be amazing if there were visiting hours in heaven over the holiday season? This is, of course, for anyone who is feeling disconnected and alone. You'll visit spirit realms and receive several healing messages from your guides and loved ones. Best of all, it features specific exercises you can do this holiday to feel more guided. So if you're feeling alone, there's ways I help. It's really interesting how they presented it to me, because I just become an open vessel and they just download these ways, these exercises, these techniques, and it brings you to, through breathing exercises, through visualization, but breathing as well, into a space where they bring you into different levels of consciousness, different levels of awareness. And a lot of you probably have heard of out of body experiences. It's kind of quasi that. It's kind of a mixture of that, and it's also kind of a mixture of kind of trance work. So trance, we go down with the energy, but out of the body, you're going to a higher level. So it's kind of a mixture of both, where you step aside and I bring you into these well, not me, they help. You go into these spaces of different levels of consciousness, of realities. And love, is the strongest healing force there is. And love finds your loved ones find you when you open yourself up. So I've had some great responses and reviews from people who said that saved my life. I lost my husband, and I saw him very clearly. I saw my child who I missed, and I didn't realize it was possible. I myself could do this. So everyone, you don't need a medium. You yourself are medium. The only difference between me and you, as some people, I've developed it and developed that skill more, kind of refined it. But everybody's a soul. The only difference between the spirit world, they're a discarnate soul, they're out of the body, and we're in the body. But if we know how to open up the mind, that part of that soul part of us, and let them and surrender that part of the mind and let them come through to us, we can easily get a message. So it's learning to go from your head to your heart. And the first, I think, couple of hours of the course is in one day. It's a one-day course. It's learning to get from the head to the heart. So it really helps you. So that's bringing heaven home. It's a good course. The next one I wanted to mention was psychic astrology. And this was a course I decided to do about astrology because a lot of people wanted to know about astrology. So it gave basic information about astrology. And then I found that as I researched and found out more and more, and the course got longer and longer and more information. And I talk about the moon phases. I talk about all the different planets, all the characteristics of the planets, what it's like in your chart. I go through the different houses. It's an easy explanation about basic astrology. I talk about aspects. And so, because I'm not an astrologer, so I wanted to present it to you in a way that the general person could understand it. So that's an incredible course. You'll unlock your own cosmic blueprint and take charge of your future. Over 4 weeks, I teach you how to use the energies of the planets to heal, transform all areas of your life. And you'll see which planets feel right to you. So I go this whole thing about resonation of Saturn, and the characteristics of Saturn. Where is that in your chart? What do you feel about that? It's a good self-discovery course. You'll learn also how to read your natal chart, work with energy of the planets, come deeply understand yourself, and much more. And then the other one I wanted to mention as well, because a lot of people ask me how they themselves can read spirit, how they can use more of their intuition, how do they know when it's their own head, their own self speaking instead of spirit. And that's through intuition. That's developing your intuition. So the number one course for that I always talk about is the JVP Psychic Intuitive Course, Intuitive Certification Course. Become a masterful psychic or intuitive in this one-of-a-kind certification course. You'll uncover your psychic strengths and learn how to accurately read yourself and others. I have a great couple examples. One of the examples of one of the lessons I teach, there's many of them. There's so many of them. As you can see, once I get started, I don't stop. One I have there is in that course is where you sit one day and you concentrate on one person and you write down what you pick up on that person, what they're doing at a particular space and time. And then you call them the next day and you see where they were at that space and time and how accurate you were to what they were doing. So there's stuff like that all over the place. It's pretty cool. I teach you a variety of fun psychic tools. For instance, another great psychic tool is, let's say, this one, basic one. The phone rings. Who is it? Who do we feel? Another one, you get email and you can see what is the content of the email if you don't really get this subject. You have a meeting with someone, some kind of business meeting or someone you've never met, or maybe it's a blind date, and you should feel the personality of that person. Or even, this is a good one I put in there also, let's say you're going to a restaurant you've never been before. What do you psychically pick up before you get to that space? Because there is no time, you visit that space. What does the space look like, the restaurant? Is there a host or hostess? Where is that hostess stand? Where's your table? What does the restaurant look like in appearance-wise? What is your server going to be like, personality-wise? How are they dressed? So these are different ways and techniques of using your intuition. And the intuition is like a muscle. The more you develop it, the more you use it, the more it develops. And they're really fun ways of doing it. And another one I put in there is, let's say the bank of elevators or 4 elevators. Which one is going to open first? So you can use it every single day in your life. There's different ways of doing that. I use it in LA all the time for parking spaces. I use it here in San Diego too for parking spaces. But it's really interesting because once we become using that tool, our soul's language, which is intuition, it changes our perception. It changes our experience of this three-dimensional world of our life here. And so it'll really help. So check out that. That's a psychic intuition course. And so your paper and pen, write this down if you could. Going to go to 40% off every single course. This is the last time I did it for a whole year. So my wife gave me back. JVP School of Mystical Arts, of course. And the code I'm going to give you, which is right there too in the computer, but I'll tell it to you, BF40 at checkout. BF40. Save 40% off every single course. Okay, kids, there you go. So that's the most important thing that I wanted to share with you because I didn't know if everyone knew about it. So a couple of questions. Anyone want to ask me questions about the courses? I'd be more than happy to answer them. Hi, Bernadette. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Anna. My person didn't go to full term. What happens in the spirit world? Can I ask? Well, Anna, so sometimes when that happens, that's the divine energy is preparing you for the next time. So sometimes the area, the female area there, has to be prepared a certain way. Something might not be working accordingly to the divine plan, and that will happen next time. So what happens to the baby and the spirit? It's hard to say. That's what might come back probably in the next time you're pregnant. Very much so. Could go through that. And that usually when that happens, it's a lesson for the mother. So it's a lesson in loving oneself, not blaming oneself, not having guilt of oneself, and realizing that there's a bigger power involved. So that baby, if that soul's meant to come through to you in this life, that baby will. So you haven't lost the baby. By the way, the spirit, which is very interesting, the spirit doesn't come into the physical body of the mother's, the womb, until that fetus, until around the last 7th month. It goes in and out all the time and checks things out. And it goes out even until the 10th month, it'll go out because it doesn't like to be closed in. So the 9th month it was born, it'll be there. But it'll also, once it's born, it usually goes in and out till by the 10th month and then it closes. The soft spot closes up because it goes out of the crown chakra. So just preparing Anna for your next baby. That's all that is. So don't have any guilt on you. You did the right thing. God bless you. Okay. So yes, Cheryl, you're booking a mediumship. Oh, good. Cheryl Siri, I'll be booking a mediumship on the 6th of December. Thank you, Cheryl. That's going to be great. Thank you. Oh, my phone is ringing. Oh, excuse me. Let me turn that off. Wow. My phone hasn't rung all day because I turned it off. And now it works. Okay. You're going to, yes, the December 6th course. Thank you very much. You're going to be coming to that course. That is what I'm doing a next VIP media message course, which is really great around the holidays because very, very special. So it's on vanprog.com to register for that. And that'll be an 2-hour evening of messages, of teaching, meditation, questions, and a lot of messages. So it'll be an exciting evening for all of you. So that's December 6th, as she said, and that'll be great. Okay. Do I have a, Christy asked, do I have a death doula class? Not yet, Christy, not yet. I don't have one yet, but I was, not yet. No, I would like to do one when it becomes more developed. But very interesting enough in that story, death doula. I was working at Omega Institute in New York probably about 15 years ago. And certain people in the audience, I asked what they did for a living. And a lot of them said end of life work or, and there was no name for it. And one lady said, I think doula. I said, that's a good name, end of life doula. And then for some reason it caught on. And I like to think that's where it started, but I don't think so. But I think that end of life death doula is a great one, but not yet. But I will once it develops more. Look, coupon is good for till 12 o'clock tonight. So you have all day today till 12 o'clock tonight. Yeah, so if that would work, that'd be great. And it'll be because we have the show tonight. Hi, James. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you. This weekend I started decorating for the holidays. Good for you. I'm glad you have the energy to do that. And had to move a tea set. My mom, who has passed, gave me my head. I had, you go to drop it if you hold it like that. And I automatically responded, don't worry, I got it, Mom. Perfect. I thought that was funny because it doesn't happen normally. Yes, totally. That's exactly what it's like. Okay, so there you go, Heidi. So you have a hard time distinguishing my own thoughts from messages. Okay, so that's exactly what it is, Heidi. See how simple that was? So you did not expect that to hear from your mother. It was just a thought that came into your mind, and it's exactly what it is. It's as simple as that. It's just a simple thought. So the more we try and force it, it won't happen. But exactly that's how they communicate. When there's an open space, and you were so much concentrating on that pot that's where your thoughts were, you see. So you had an open space around you for your mother to drop in and send that thought to you. And that's how mediumship works. It's that simple. So that psychic certification course I was talking about, I teach you in that going from your head to your heart. How do you get to your heart instead of your thoughts? And when you're in your heart space, you're kind of open in the head space and you get out of the critical mind. So very good. Very good, Heidi. Yes, that's exactly what it's like. The coupon is, it's called, pen, capital B, F, 40. Capital B as in boy, F as in Frank, 40. And that's at, you go to the and payment plan, or yes, you'd BF40 or BF40 payment. That's fine for payment. We have payment plans too. So yeah, BF40, that's it. That's at the end of when you check out. Hi, Melissa. I'm loving my JV school for the first time ever. I'm paying attention. Very good, Melissa. Very, very good. They're good courses. You know, I for those who don't know me, I find that life is very, very short, and that you want to make sure what you do in life, there's that you are responsible for it, and that you leave with you have a good intention, and that, like for instance, creating the school, it's my legacy in that everything that I've learned, that I've gathered, my knowledge and wisdom I've gathered from many other people and students and leaders and the world and experiences I put into the school. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very proud of it. And people say, when are you going to do another book? I said, well, I'm busy with my school because that really is my heart and soul right now. And I've seen so many people change. Elias, a lot of people change with my books, but I've recently had a lot of people. It's so interesting. I go to these different events and people come up to me and said, I took this course and it changed my life, or I took this course and it changed my whole way of living life, or it changed my perspective. So I'm really happy about this school that's done so well. And I've been asked to sell the school and I won't do that. So it's done very well as far as just notoriety, because I think it's all word of mouth. It's all been word of mouth. So please, if you haven't yet, check it out. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. The journey. Hi. Intuition has guided me to write my book. Very good. My book of becoming homeless when we were hit by tornadoes. That's a major lesson, isn't it? I dreamed about them happening, and it saved mine and my daughter's life. Then I wrote my book as another dream led me to invent a product. Well, there you go. And you can teach, sweetheart. I'm assuming you're a woman. I don't know, sweetheart, sweet answer woman. Yeah, I think obviously you're a teacher. You're very psychic. You should use it, and that's a great way to help people. What a wonderful way to. Well, you talk about you hit over the head, but you can precognition is really when you become aware of events before they happen. So it's very, very intuitive. And the more again you use it, the more it develops. So I hope in your book you will write about that. You might need to experience more development though before you do the full book. So just throw my my teacher part out to you. Okay, good luck, sweetheart. Okay. Leanne, thank you for offering new courses. Sounds fantastic. Thanks, Leanne. Yes, I'm working right now on a great meditation course. Really, really cool. Really, really, really good. Covers everything from grounding to environment to breathing to what meditation is. It takes away all the woo-woo stuff and it brings it right down to earth. And then I'm also developing another course about kind of summary of all the different courses, and that's called All In, and that'll be coming out next year. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, so we'll see. And some television things are in the air, so we'll see about that too. Hi, Vicki. If a person goes through a horrible marriage, I've been through them here on Earth, where there was mental and physical abuse, would that person stay away from the other abuser once passed, or joining our Bringing Heaven Home course? Very good. Well, Vicki, that's interesting. So remember that we are souls having experiences and lessons. So the lessons are obviously for souls that go through that you've chosen to go through that for whatever reason. You have to learn from that, right? And that's pretty common, by the way. It's a common thing that we usually choose partners that have to teach us something, and sometimes we choose those partners that remind us of our parents to resolve certain patterns with that. Everything is different. Everyone is different. But when we pass the other side, there seems to be an expansion of awareness, if you will, and we understand the reason why they were abusing, why they were psychologically destroying us. We understand that. I think it's a great, and I've had both, so I understand that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think that it's a lesson also in forgiveness, that we have to forgive them, because it reminds me that I grew up Catholic, and not that I get into the whole Catholic thing, but certain things I love, which is when they supposedly, when Jesus was on the cross, when the two, and he said to his Father in the spirit world, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I do believe that there are a lot of people out there, and I just know it, because the people in this world, the spirit people always refer to the people walking around here and people that make political decisions, like Putin, for instance, right now, or people that make these terrible decisions that hurt people, that destroy people. They're not awake. They're sleepwalking, because if they realize they're in how that would affect the rippling effect, and how that would rip apart souls and affect souls and all that karma. And if they only knew that we're all connected, that we're all one, there's a unity, and that they're separating that, not good, not good. That's not a good thing. So we always got to keep in mind that we're all connected as one. Doesn't matter what language we speak, doesn't matter what country we're in, we're all one. The sun shines on everyone, every single person. So there's a reason why we chose those people in our life, and not only partnered, but friends as well. And there comes a point, I believe, in our development, in our spiritual development, where we are empowered enough to say, I'm not going to take that behavior anymore. I do not accept that. And that could be in family and friends and partners. And I've had it in all. And it can be that way. You have to stand up for ourselves. So many times there are those relationships we enter into to learn to empower ourselves, to stand up for ourselves, but maybe in the past we weren't able to. So good for you, Vicky, for doing it. And the most important thing is not to be a victim of this circumstances, but forgive them. Because again, they know not what they do. They're limited. They're unaware probably of how they hurt you. And I think, trying to get back at someone, it's not worth the energy. It's not worth that. So, every day you get around a lot of people that hurt us in a certain way, but it's how we respond to it that takes us on. For instance, I don't want this personal thing, but things are happening in my life where I could be very angry at someone or some couple of people, but I choose not to, because that's their thing. And if I give it any energy, then I'm letting them take over me. And I don't want to do that. And none of us should do that. None of us should take on other people's stuff. We should be observant and aware of it, but don't take it on. So that's my best advice for that. Okay. Okay, Ravi Reedy. When you ask spirit questions, just go to the heart. Great, James. Yeah, the heart of the matter. I say go to the heart of the matter. That's where the soul is located, in the heart of the matter. Yes. Hi, Jay. Hi, James. I had a voice yesterday morning just before I woke up. Yes, perfect. You have now entered into the blue, a realm or energy field. Any idea what that might mean? Cheers. Well, Jay, and I remember who you are, Jay Smith. All I can say, and this is just my own hypothesis, I don't know if I'm right or not, but blue would be associated with the throat chakra. Blue is usually communication. So it's usually communicating on a higher level. So perhaps you're entering into, you're taking in charge of your own voice again, and entering into that own power of your voice and your creativity. So it's entering into the creative field. So you'll probably be doing a lot more creative things this year, coming year, and you'll be letting your voice express itself in any way it would like to. So you'll look into that. Write down that in a diary. I think a diary or a journal is really good, because you look back at 2 years later, like, oh my God, that's right. I did one 15 years ago or 20 years ago when I went to Santa Barbara on the Greyhound bus. And I tell you, I got it out of my memory box I have, and I read it to my niece. I was like, oh my God, everything there came true. It was way before I did mediumship. It was close to 40 years now. But it was really interesting how it all came true. Not exactly exactly right, but it said I would like to make a lifetime writing. I didn't say writing books, we said writing. So there you go. And I want to help people, serve people in a spiritual way. And I didn't even know that I was entering into the psychic realms and mediumship realms. So keep it going. Good luck, Jay. Okay. Hi, Jerry. Hi from Boynton Beach. Oh, Just finished Wisdom from Your Spirit Guides. Had the most amazing spiritual experience. That's great, Jerry. Thank you. Yeah, it opens, I believe any book or card deck, really, that you open up your mind to with those words, it's kind of like a portal. So it kind of opens you up. And the courses as well, they really open you up because then that's in your mindset. It becomes part of your mindset. And I think whenever you take a course or read a book, it works. There is the information, but it's integrated into your own mindset, your own way of being. And in many ways, it just opens you up into places and spaces you never expected. That's what happened to me when I read Out on a Limb by Shirley MacLaine. That opened me up. And that was my book that really started me on my path. So, and I've been able to thank her for that, which is really great. Okay. Hi, Josie. As I sat in meditation this week on the anniversary of my dear friend's death, I saw her face. Very good. Large upper left side. She looked young and beautiful. Perfect. I have felt reassured that she is with me. Definitely. I cried. Thank you, James, for helping me to call her forth from your teachings. You're very welcome, Josie. You're very welcome. They're always around us. It's this whole thing that God, the mind of a human being, they're so closed many times. I think this is it in this box. The world is so beyond this box. And one of the things, what happens when we leave this box, this meat suit, we exit it, we realize, oh my gosh, I'm all part of the stars, and it's such an expansion of awareness. And to have to go back in this tiny little box, it's hard. I had that in my near-death experience, and I understand it's difficult to want to come back here, but there's work to be done, and that's why we have to take on the confines of this physical vessel. The only thing I'd like to say is I really wish we could all remember who we really are. And I think we could, if we open up our mind and use our intuition, we could remember who we are. But the humans, we got to be careful of the value systems. What are important to our values. And now that we had the pandemic and all these things politically going on and wars and so forth, it forces us. I think it's obviously like divine plans that's play here. And I think it forces us to acquaint ourselves with values and who we are, manners and so forth. I do it every day. I become aware of, and I sound like an old man, which is fine. I am, but people who are rude or don't have manners, and I'll stop them and I'll say, "Excuse me," and hello, and I'll just my way of teaching them say, "But that's not appropriate," and not in a bad way, just to help them understand it. And I do that in a way where it's again not non-confrontational, but I'll say, "How would you like it if blah blah happened?" And they look at me with this face because they never had that experience before. And usually it's someone younger. I have to say that, but just try to help people spread the energy of love and make people more aware of manners and that we're all connected. We really are. Okay, next question. Jerna, hi, he's living in South Africa. I love it. Your books, of course, lighten my life. Thank you very much, Jerna. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Michelle, hi, Michelle. I'm doing the spiritual healing course. There's so much valuable information. Thank you. I'm learning. Thank you. There's a lot in there. I find the karmic lessons work very interesting. Karmic lessons. Everybody should know what their karmic lessons are. Yep. The course is life-changing. I would highly recommend it. Thank you for great knowledge of bringing these courses together to help us develop and learn. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate Michelle because I put it out to the universe and I don't know people's, not unless you tell me how you're receiving it. I'm glad I'm hitting those notes because that'll help me to when I develop other courses that I'm doing it the right way. But it's a good course. Some of the courses, you got to be ready. It's a commitment for some of them. So you got to make sure you're in a place to commit yourself to change. To open yourself to it's a different lifestyle. You might be looking at things in a very different way. The whole life might change. When you bring love to yourself, things change. So it's 40% off and check of BF40. And a couple of things I want to talk about quickly while I'm here, because a lot of people have hard times during the holidays. And I just wrote a blog recently about that some of you might be aware of. And I just want to give you some tips for the holidays. So give yourself permission to embrace the holidays on your own terms. Oh, isn't that an interesting one? Focus on what brings you joy, like walking through a snowy forest, taking a late night drive to admire the holiday lights, and socializing with people who nourish your soul. Spend as little time as possible, or none, fulfilling obligations that don't serve your highest self. And that happens a lot. We say someone calls for a party or a gathering, we feel obligated. Don't feel obligated. If you don't feel right about it, then don't feel obligated to do it. You're not being genuine or true to yourself, and you won't have a good time. So Usually, if that's how you feel. So take time to be with yourself. I did that this weekend. I was, except my friend Marianne coming down for Thanksgiving, I was by myself with Pearl, and I had a great time just doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing, watching some television and some movies. Great movie. That My Policeman is a great movie. You should watch that one. I think it'll be up Best Picture. My Policeman. It's very good in Prime Video. Set boundaries. This applies every day of the year, but especially during the holidays. Boundaries protect your energy, your emotions, your beliefs, even your money. They help you feel in control and minimize the chance that resentment and anger will crop up later. Setting boundaries isn't always easy. It requires that you let go of the people pleasing patterns you might be using in your past. So remember, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is yet to be. So all you have is today. And if you want people to treat you in a different way, in a good way and respectful way, you have to show them sometimes that this is how you want to be treated. And you can do it again in a kind way, especially family. I find that my, family experience I've had, they either rise to the occasion or they don't, and that's okay. That's okay because you're a certain vibration, and in certain ways as a child they might have treated you a certain way, or a certain relationship you might have had, which might change as you grow older and you change and you empower yourself. There will be changes, and you will have boundaries, and they might not be used to you having boundaries. That's okay. It's a good thing. It'll teach them boundaries. It'll teach them they can't get over on you. They have to honor you. And no one can honor you if you don't honor yourself first. And the first step is presenting boundaries, having boundaries. Okay. Next one I put down is knowing yourself. You can't set boundaries if you don't know what you really want. Right. So slow down, be quiet, and tune into your soul. So it's your soul self. My soul and I is how you should live through your life. My soul and I, right? Trust me, your own intuition is worth listening to. Journaling, meditation, other quiet activities during the holidays gives you space to know who you are. It's true. And I love this one, which I wrote down. Avoid energy vampires. Don't be around those people who pull at you. You don't need them. How many times have you spent some because you feel with at work, an obligation for holiday parties, being with someone you don't want to be with? I used to go to the TV show Ghost Whisperer, and there are parties all the time, and for her holiday parties, I used to sit in the corner because I didn't want to deal with any people. I didn't care for a lot of people, so I wasn't going to waste my energy. And once I went to a Ghost Whisperer party, it was very interesting. And I just didn't want to go. And I was living in LA. I had to go because I was a producer on the show, but I just didn't want to really interact with people. So what I did was I did a Harry Potter technique, which is cloaking. So I put a purple cloak around myself, and I imagined that and visualized that. And I sat down in a booth. Jennifer Love Hewitt's booth. She goes, Jennifer, want to see somebody walking around? I said, sure. I sat in her booth and I cloaked myself, and nobody bothered me. Some people talked to me at the table, but no one came over to the table. It was just very nice. So cloak yourself for those energy vampires. So that's that. And let's see what else. Cleanse your energy regularly. This is really important, especially during holiday times. Number one, realize that your loved ones are around you. They haven't gone anywhere. They're still with you. And they're around, especially holiday times. So be aware of signs and signals, just like our friend did with the teapot. They'll come in subtle ways. And always say, set an extra chair and speak to them because they hear you. And they are very, very happy when you hear them. So remember that. Clean your energy regularly. Crowds and pressure for the holiday means extra important time to keep your energy clear. I run my own energy several times a day, and I talk about that in the JVP Psychic Portal, the Psychic Certification course, and bringing the cosmic energy down, earth energy up for the heart, sending it out, and really running the energy through the body, through the energy systems, and it cleanses and purifies, and you don't feel depleted, and it works. I want to tell you something. I did it 3 times when was it, Friday? No, that was before Thanksgiving, Wednesday. And I went to, I did it as I was driving to Home Goods. I went to Home Goods to get some stuff. And I just did that on the way, ran my energy through my car. You can do it anywhere. And I felt really good. And I got the parking lot. I came out, went to the store. As I'm going around the aisle, the lady said to me, excuse me, I love your work. I said, oh, thank you. She says, you just changed my life. And I said, thank you. And she said, can I hug you? I said, yeah, I won't break. Give me a hug. So she did. And it was really nice. And she goes, you have such clean energy. I said, thank you very much. And then I thought that was very interesting. And then I went to the checkout line and I got to the register, and the lady behind the register said, oh my God, you look so great, James. And I said, oh, you know me? She goes, oh yes, you've aged very well. Thank you. She goes, your energy is wonderful. I said, thank you very much. She says, thank you for changing my life. And I said, Thank you very much. And then I started crying. I left the store and came back in, and I came back and I said to her, "I want to thank you for your kindness. Just saying that really helped make my day. So thank you for your kindness, and thank you for spreading the love." So that's what it's about. Tonight, okay, I'm gonna tell you this: a VIP evening of Spirit Messages, December 2nd and the 16th. Sign up at vanprog.com. That's what I'm going to give messages out and teaching, and that's on vanprog.com. I have two more left for the rest of the year. So if you want to be part of the Evening of Spirit Messages, which changes you, feel free to sign up there. And tonight I wanted to mention on my show, Both Sides Now and Beyond, a special show, Both Sides Now and Beyond, with Kelly White at 6 o'clock tonight. I was recently in Sedona, Arizona, there about 3 weeks ago for a film festival. I was in a film called Facing Fear. And I was invited to speak in the panel, and I did. But I was fortunate enough to also meet these two women. One of them, I believe, was a student of mine, by the way, who produced and directed and wrote a film called Love Heals. And I went to the preview, and it was an amazing story about how love does heal. And there were physical problems that were healed, and there's a whole God process that these ladies talk about. And I invited them to be in the show tonight. So tonight we're going to have Cassandra and Dana from Love Heals, and it won the film festival, won the Sedona Film Festival, the Illuminati Film Festival, #1. It won. I'm so happy, and it's such a great story, and it's a love story, if any. It's a beautiful love story. So please join me tonight. We welcome Dana and Chrisana on tonight's show. It's gonna be great. So and don't miss your chance, 40% off on the courses. So please go to JP School of Mystical Arts and have a great rest of your week and spread the love. And hopefully I'll see you later. Okay, bye bye everybody.